Hello, folks. Keith Johnson here on this Tuesday, June 9th, 2015. Before we get into the subject matter at hand, I wanted to check in and give you a little update on what I've been doing these past few weeks. If you follow me exclusively on YouTube, you may have noticed I haven't added any new content to my channel throughout the month of May. Several reasons for that. First of all, I've been doing a lot of writing. I've found a new home at Op-Ed News, and they recently published 3 of my articles and posted them on the front page of the website. Here's the first one, published May 16th, debunking the latest Sandy Hook conspiracy theories. It's a very comprehensive debunking resulting from quite a bit of research. As you can see here, it's 5 pages long. I'll provide a link to you in the description below. Check out this one as well, published on May 18th. Sandy Hook conspiracy theorists continue getting it wrong. It's more or less part 2 of the previous article with an additional 4 pages. You'll get a link to that as well. Finally, we top it off with this crowning achievement for the month of May, published on the 22nd, Sandy Hook exclusive, never before seen police dash cam footage, and all the credit here goes out to C.W. Wade of Sandy Hook Facts, who obtained these pursuant to a Freedom of Information Act request showing Officer Seabrook and Lieutenant Cinco responding to Shees on the morning of December 14th. This is a must-read and a must-see. I'll leave you the link. Go check it out. Now, this article plays a significant role in the topic we're about to discuss, which centers around some recent allegations from Professor Doom, that notorious Sandy Hook hoaxer who pollutes YouTube with his garbage seemingly on a daily basis. Anyway, he recently posted a video where he's singing the praises of his Lord and Savior, Wolfgang Halbig, but starts out with a rant against yours truly, claiming that I have been relentlessly attacking him. And, well, let's let him tell his side of the story.
Hey everybody, there's a few things I want to cover here. One, of course, you already know who's sitting here before us right here in the video. You know, I just wanted to share with my opinion with you. For all those people who have their own channels, who share their opinions, everybody who knows me here, you'll very rarely ever find a video that I create actually condemning anybody for the material they put on their channel. It just doesn't happen. One, because I believe in the sanctity of the Constitution of your right to free speech. You can say whatever you want, just like I'm going to exercise my right to say whatever I want right here. Whether the people who are watching this video, some of you may like it, some of you may not. But that's the whole thing about that is I really don't care whether you do or you don't, because I'm just going to go ahead and share my opinion, and that's all there is to it. You know, I find it very, very interesting that there are people like Keith Johnson and C.W. Wade and Ari Feek and all these others who, you know, what do they want to call them? Hoaxers. What's the term that they want to call them? I don't even care. I really don't. But you know what? They come and attack me and other people who are searching for the truth and answers such as I am doing, and we are being attacked. And a lot of people don't see these attacks because I don't really have to broadcast every time that I'm being attacked, because it's really, if I did that, all of my time would be spent on creating videos on material like that. So before I get into this video, I'm going to really show you about Halbig. This was Keith Johnson here.
Okay, so he launches in with some screenshots of a private message conversation that I initiated on June 4th, and I freeze framed here on where the conversation began. But of course he scrolls back and forth during his rant, claiming that this was all unprovoked, and it really was pathetic to listen to him fall apart like that. He made a complete spectacle of himself, and at one point I really thought he was going to break into tears. Anyway, point here is, please take note of the date I sent this message, and that it was shared privately. In other words, this was by no means a public, quote-unquote, attack on this poor little crybaby. Next, take note of the fact that Doom's series of very public attacks against yours truly predates that message by more than a week, when he lies through his teeth while attempting to discredit my article.
Here is the opednews.com piece that this guy, Keith Johnson right here, did. Sandy Hook. Exclusive, never-before-seen police dash cam footage. Yes, and what did Mr. Keith Johnson, the quote-unquote best debunker out there, in that's his own words. Well, let's take a look. He must not have been too proud of the stuff that he was finding. It's amazing to me that he would actually, right here, Sandy Hook exclusive, Never by Keith Johnson, Connecticut Police, Sandy Hook. Yes. Sometimes authors delete their articles after publishing them. Yeah, I wonder why he would do that.
All right, let's make something perfectly clear here for y'all. I never pulled my article. Op-Ed News never pulled my article. It was never pulled, nor was it ever modified. It's remained on the website, on that page, since the date of publication. It was a headline piece. It was the most viewed article for 2 days in a row. I'm proud of that article, and I want everyone to read it and spread it far and wide.
Now, Doom and this guy, Sleight of Sin, don't want you to read the article. So they try to deceive you by providing you with an altered link. You see that number 21 at the end of HTML? That's not supposed to be there. Let me show you. I'll just start from scratch, type in never before seen dash cam footage. My article comes up number 3. Let's bring it up as a cached page. And there it is. See the original link right there? No numbers at the end. Same article. All the original content is still there. Never been altered, never been modified whatsoever. Alright, let's go back to the link here. Copy it. Put it in the address bar. Add the number 21 like they did. Enter it. And voila! You get the same page Doom and Sleight of Sin wants you to see. Now, it's important that you read this article, folks, so you can understand that there was nothing here that should have provoked such anger from Professor Doom. Neither C.W. Wade nor myself glowed about getting this footage out ahead of his Lord and Savior Wolfgang Halbig. We don't even mention Halbig, or any of the hoaxers for that matter. We simply introduced the footage and described some of the highlights. And folks, not only in this article, but in a few other posts, C.W. Wade, Mike Flagg, they go into great detail about how these videos were produced and the difficulties along the way. And it cannot be disputed that Wade was absolutely transparent about what went into that process. I mean, you have to understand that these came to him in multiple files, in DVD format, several hours of footage. Matter of fact, there was a bit of initial confusion about the second Seabrook video because it was produced from 4 or 5 DVDs. 2 of them were out of sequence. No big deal. Simple oversight that was immediately corrected and explained. And I will put the link to the final Seabrook 2 video down there for you as well, so you can take a look for yourself. Okay? Now, contrary to popular myth, you can't simply put these DVDs into a player and expect the timestamps to pop up. It requires enabling a feature standard on all players, or most. Closed captions. Practically all DVD movies, for instance, have embedded text for the hearing impaired so they can read what is being said by the characters on the screen. But you have to enable that feature. Same thing here. Unfortunately, it's something the viewer has to do. You can't directly upload a DVD onto YouTube with the closed caption feature enabled. All of this has been fully explained.
However, Doom and others have ignored these perfectly legitimate and conclusive explanations and have instead decided to attack our integrity with these baseless accusations, accusing us of committing various crimes and being government agents paid to deceive the American people. You see, folks like Doom are so mesmerized with Wolfgang Halbig that they believe every single word that he says. If Wolfgang says that there are no timestamps on the videos, well, then that automatically means that we are lying or tampering with evidence we're doing all of these nefarious things that they're accusing us of, even though it's quite clear that Wolfgang has the exact same material that was sent to us, but is either too stupid or unwilling to enable the feature that will bring those timestamps up. Now, to me, this is just another confirmation that these hoaxers are insincere when they tell you that they're looking for the truth. They aren't interested in facts. Instead of embracing the evidence, they just want to kill the messenger. And to me, the reason is quite clear. We hurt their egos. We embarrass them. We're constantly showing how inept they are at obtaining and analyzing evidence. And you know how they're always saying that we're just asking questions. Well, instead of attacking us, what they should be doing is asking Wolfgang Halbig some questions like, why hasn't he shared the video footage that he's obtained? And why has it cost him tens of thousands of dollars to get the same information that any American citizen can get for almost nothing?
Okay, now I want to pause here and point out that 3 different videos about this dash cam footage came out within days of each other during the last week of May. All 3 of these guys, mind you, frequently collaborate and are die-hard devotees of Wolfgang Halbig. This one here I want you to take particular note of, which inspired this accusation from Tony Mead's Sandy Hook Hoax Facebook group. More on that later. Let's finish up with Doom first, since he's the one who names me specifically in his video.
And here's what's funny about this whole thing, folks. Despite him using these lies to attack my integrity in this video that we played, I didn't respond to him at all. I just let it slide. It wasn't until he attacked me again that I decided to call him out.
Now, this was posted right after Wolfgang Halbig's FOI hearing, and he starts right in with a jab on me. Now, listen to this.
Hey everybody, I'm about ready to show you a snippet of the FOIA request hearing that took place today, and you are going to see Mrs. Patricia Liorda, the town selectman, make a stunning admission, and I want to jump on this before Keith Johnson and C.W. Wade, of course, these paid agents of Connecticut. I want to actually jump on this before they have a chance to negate what she had to say.
So that's what prompted me to send him this private message the very next day. I was justifiably pissed off and decided I'd critique both of his videos where he calls me out. But notice, I don't cry about his attacks against me. I focus on the content, on his claims. Sure, I called him names because that's what I do and because I have no respect for the guy. Now, you may be wondering where that link I'm pointing to goes. Well, it goes here to C.W. Wade's latest video where he uses his iPhone to take a picture of his video screen and shows exactly how easy it is to enable closed captions and bring up those timestamps. Now, take a look, okay? That's a brief snippet, and I'll leave you a link. Now, that brings us back to this series of videos. Remember this one that inspired the hoax group to accuse us of evidence tampering? In fact, this was the video that inspired both Sleight of Sin and Professor Doom. They just rode in on this guy's coattails. But guess what? After C.W. Wade posted that video that I just played, the producer of this video, 03, was man enough to relent and posted this video saying that his previous one was incorrect. Listen in.
You know, I've been racking my brain all day, thinking of some way you could have faked it, but seems legit. So that tells me that these discs that you acquired were legitimate, and I wrongly accused you of tampering with evidence.
What we learned?
Well, what we've learned is that Professor Doom was the first one to take a swing at me, and then when he did, he used bogus information that has been debunked by his own ally. And it's always been like this. I mean, even when you go back to the first time we sparred, it was Doom who took the first swing at me. Look here. This is what started it. This video published December 26, 2014, and I am one of the shield biatches of whom he speaks. Soon after he issued this challenge, I started looking back from when he first started posting. And I came across one about the cars in the She's parking lot with expired tags, and I thought, okay, this is a good one because this myth has been often recited but never properly dispelled. This deserves its own video, and so I made one. And I was going to continue like this, starting from the bottom and working my way up, but noticed Doom was starting to get a lot of attention from some of his more recent videos. So I did a series on that, and lo and behold, to my surprise, Doom actually confessed that I had debunked him. But of course, rather than just leaving it at that, he issues me a new challenge, which I proceed to shoot down as well. And then he comes back saying, okay, well, you only debunked half of it. You deliberately ignored the yellow vest that was hanging from the DHS vehicle. Now, I know you're saying, what? Folks, you really need to watch these videos. They're actually quite entertaining as he lays out his claims, and then I proceed to show you how utterly ridiculous they are. Like I did here, when I showed that what he thought was a yellow vest actually turns out to be a yellow street sign that the vehicle is parked next to. So anyway, that was the last I spoke of Professor Doom until he started in with this latest nonsense. And he really crossed the line with me this time because, you can call me every name in the book. You can dredge up my past and rub it in my face. That's all fair game. In fact, I even encourage people to call me out when I make mistakes. But there are two things that I find unacceptable. Number one is when you accuse me of committing crimes I didn't commit. And number two is when you either add to or subtract from my employment history. Now, that's not cool. If you do that, I'm going to call you out. And not by your cartoon name, but by your real name. And if I don't know it, I'm going to try and find out. Now, Doom, I don't know for sure if your real name is Philip Daniel Craigie. I was told from a reliable source that it is. You even acknowledge that that's your name, but I don't believe a word you say. So until I can confirm it personally, I will consider it hearsay and continue to refer to you as Professor Doom in any articles I write or videos I produce. And why would I want to know your name?
Because I want to face my accusers. Not necessarily in person, but at least I want them to meet me on the playing field, okay? Go public, like I've done, like I'm doing right now. Because I find that people are a little more cautious about what they say when faced with the possibility that they might one day be called upon to defend their claims in person. Anyway, that's all I got to say. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for indulging me. Coming up later this week, hopefully I will address this latest controversy about the everyone must check in sign. Let's resurrect that for the 100,000th time, shall we? Because apparently there are some people out there who have not yet been educated on this essentially non-issue. So stay tuned for that. And until then, this is Keith Johnson, signing off.